I noticed that a lot of the chats suddenly all dried up as well, and I was thinking, man, that's interesting, and there's probably a reason for that. So if you can let us know where we were up to in our chat before it all stopped, that'd be great. Does seem to be a little bit of a problem with this particular adapter that we're using. Gives us really good quality video, but it does have this little problem of sometimes just dying. So if you wouldn't mind just writing in the last thing that we were talking about, and then I can just go back and kind of continue on from there. Thank you. We were talking about the podcast and heard people, oh well, that's really good actually, because literally I noticed straight after that we'd frozen. So good. Thank you, Claire. So yeah, like it's interesting. Sometimes people are aware that they are hurting others. Other times they've got no clue. And so it's interesting, isn't it? But signs of a toxic relationship can be having your memory of events and motives or motives constantly questioned. So if you're in a relationship and someone's continually questioning and saying, "Oh no, you remembered that wrong. It didn't happen like that," and you're like, "Man, I'm totally sure it happened like that." And if that's going on again and again and again, that could be a sign of a toxic relationship. If someone's continually questioning your motives, like you never support me, you're not there for me, you don't, and you're doing your level best to be able to do that, and it just keeps coming up again and again, it could be toxic. If another sign could be a very up and down relationship where you don't really know what person you're going to get on a particular day. That whole sense of kind of walking on eggshells with people, like is today going to be a happy day? Is it going to be an angry day? Don't know where it's going to be. Sometimes that can just be a sign of mental health issues going on for that particular person, or can also be a sign of a personality disorder happening for that person. But that can be, that can also be a sign. Having to constantly do stuff that you don't want to do, but with no way of changing or negotiating or compromising. If you're continually being pressured into something that you don't want to do, and you've tried to bring it up, and there's just you keep getting there's power dynamics that mean that you're unable to bring it up, or it's not getting through, or whatever, then that could be toxic. Or if you feel like the relationship is constantly about you giving and the other person taking. And listen, even the best relationships, there can be times and seasons. If somebody is very ill, there can be a time, or even a long season, where one person really is giving and the other person's taking, because there's not a lot they can really do about it.
There's reasons.
Yeah, so sometimes there's reasons behind these things, but I'm just talking about like normal, everyday kind of situations. So again, sometimes we can have trouble just in normal relationships, but a key difference is the ability to be able to talk things out, acceptance from both sides to be able to work on stuff, and then actual follow through from both sides. So what I would say is that if you actually are in a toxic relationship, you're going to need some help. You're not going to be able to do it all by yourself. And I see Claire's just put the thing up there in terms of need to talk and counsellors, and you can certainly talk to a counsellor or a pastor or a leader. Talk to someone who can help you, and they can give you some guidance and some wisdom to walk through it, because you're going to really need some help if it is truly a toxic relationship, particularly too if it's a situation where you could feel unsafe, or or there's danger in it. You definitely need to make sure that you're talking with somebody about your kind of next steps, and you've got a bit of a plan there, and there's other people who bring in that kind of that whole thing. Yeah. So anyway, that's just some thoughts on it. Anything that you want to say about toxic relationships?
Yeah, I think just have some good people around you, like you were saying, to talk to. And know that you're not alone. I think that's a big thing. That's often people can feel quite isolated and made to feel alone, and I think it's really important. I think that's why God calls us to do life in connection and relationships in the body. Church is so important, friendships are so important, small groups are so good. Just reach out and bring some good people around your life, and talk to somebody about what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just see Mark's commented there, aggression at home can also come out due to being in a bad working environment. And I think it's really important too, even in toxic relationships, you know, it's really easy to start to kind of dehumanize or sometimes even demonize the other person involved. You know, they're just an evil person, they're just a bad person, they've got, you know, there's always reasons for these things. You know, and I think sometimes when we come to an understanding of the reasons, you know, that whole kind of seek first to understand before being understood. So taking the time to try to work it out. But, you know, there are certain times, though, in life where you actually have to put boundaries in with particular people because you've talked it out so many times, you've done it so many times, you've gone round the block so many times, and now it's reaching a time where there needs to be a consequence in the relationship, you know, or some kind of step like that. So anyway, it is really, really important just to get that good input, to be talking with good people about it, and to listen to their counsel and to follow through with it, and to pray. You know, the wonderful thing is that even if you are in a toxic relationship or an abusive relationship, man, there's hope for you, for your life going forward, and you know, God has got a plan for you and for your life, and it's not over, you know. The best is always yet to come when you're walking with God. So look, we're going to kind of finish up on this. I mean, I didn't necessarily want to finish on that subject.
We need to finish on something else.
We do. We need to kind of
something
we need to
fun.
Yes, chat about something fun before we finish up.
Ask us a fun question.
So yeah, a couple of fun questions before we finish up. So random stuff. So
Peter, what's something fun that you would like to do before lockdown is over?
Something fun I'd like to do. I don't know. You're putting me on the spot. We see what the problem is, like what fun, you know, like, I mean, within lockdown level 4, basically fun is constricted within your house, isn't it?
We had fun the other night.
Yeah.
Because in lockdown last year, Annalia wrote up a whole list of things that we needed to do during lockdown. In fact, one was doing a TikTok dance.
Oh my goodness.
That was videoed. I'm so glad that video will never see the light of day. Anyway, crazy things during lockdown last year, never to be seen outside the four walls of our home. But one of the things we did last year, which we did again the other night, was that we all had to make a PowerPoint presentation about something totally random, and then another member of the family had to present it to the family
without having seen it first.
Yeah, with great belief
with great
and
gusto.
Yeah. For that topic. And it was hilarious.
It really was
so funny. We nearly died laughing.
So you've got to try that with a group of people. Everyone creates a PowerPoint presentation, and then someone else in your group or in your family has to present it without looking at it and sell you, you know, whatever it is. You know, and honestly, we laughed so hard. It was great. What's your favorite junk food? For me, pizza. I love pizza. Pepperoni pizza. I could just eat pepperoni pizza till the cows come home. I love it. I really love it.
It's
my body does not love it.
No.
And there's this terrible thing that happens when you're 40, that you can no longer just eat whatever you want to eat anymore.
No. Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sit there and watch, you know, my boys just kind of make piles of sandwiches like this, and they wolf it down, and they retain this thin frame, and I'm like, I remember that. I remember those days. They were good days.
It's true. My favourite junk food was always chocolate, without a doubt. But my life dramatically changed this year when I went dairy-free, gluten-free, caffeine-free, fun-free, we call it here in our home.
I'm that guy now.
He's so rude to me.
I have to ring up and say, do you have any dairy-free and gluten-free options? This is what I do. This is my love for you.
That is. That shows me you love me.
That's right. I love you.
Anyway, so, you know, a lot of the things I used to love, I don't get to love anymore. But that's okay, because I love having less migraines, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So praise God.
I do make you decaf soy coffees.
He does, and then he goes, this is the most disgusting thing. I don't know how you can drink this. This is so gross.
I don't even know if I'm doing it right. Like, you know, it's so I make these things and I serve them to her, and I mean, I look at them like, I wouldn't drink that, but she loves them.
Because normally, my life at the moment is hot water. That's how exciting my life is with having no caffeine. So I'm excited about a decaf soy flat white made by my husband. I feel loved, even though it is an acquired taste. But 4 months into it, I'm all good. So there you go.
Very good. Hey, well, look, guys, it's been cool hanging out for a bit tonight. Thanks so much for joining it, and thanks for everyone who chipped in on the chat. We really appreciate it. It's kind of nice just to actually have, you know,
people.
Just to chat with some other people, and you know, it's been really cool just having you chip in and write stuff on there, and hope that some of it was helpful.
Yeah.
And yeah, but all the best for this coming week. We certainly will wait. It's Tuesday, is the day that we find out.
Yeah, or probably Monday we find out, don't we?
Yeah, and then it changes on Tuesday. Yeah.
Everyone else finds out on tomorrow, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. We don't know. We're just like forgetting what day it is and living from one day to the next. It's all good. We just carry on at home. We'll be fine.
Yes.
You'll be fine too. It's all
That's
good.
right. We will make it through, guys.
Yeah.
So be encouraged, and hope all is well in your bubbles, and bless you heaps. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you on. You can join us again for the live stream on Sunday.
Yep, 10 a.m.
I'm being omnipresent on Sunday. Did you know that?
I've seen you advertised at another church.
Yes, I'm preaching at another church and preaching at my church. I'm just seriously. We've got Judy Dawson, Pastor Judy. It's going to be so awesome. She's talking about living future-proofed, and we've got a great interview and a whole bunch of other cool stuff that's going to be happening. So you want to join us on the live stream?
But you will be live with us on Sunday.
Yes, yeah. I will be live, but my image and my pre-recorded
message
will be at another church. So you know.
Pretty clever.
It's going to be the first time I've actually ever done that. Like, you know, literally being kind of in two places at once.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Clever.
Look at that. Anyway, bless you guys. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch up soon.